Hi, this is John Lucas. I'm going to try to show you how to correct problems in grinding a bowl gouge. If you look at this gouge, I purposely ground it badly. This wing has a concave area. You really want it straight. You don't want concave. The back wing has kind of a convex area, and then it has a dip right here beyond the point. And if you look at the front, the point is very pointy. And that's what we're going to try to get away from. We want a rounded nose, and we want the sides to be reasonably straight. Now the way you would do that is simply grind longer on this high point, try to avoid grinding right here. As I go across the front, I want to grind a little longer right on the tip and go back and forth until I get a nice rounded edge. And then we get to this side over here, I'm going to grind mostly right here and try to avoid this middle. So let's see if I can correct those problems. Let's grind right there. Now avoid that low point. Now on the nose, I'm going to grind a little longer and try to round it off. There we go. It's starting to get round. Now I'm very, very light there. You can't hear the grinder very well, but I'm barely touching that point. I'm watching the middle section. Watch the sparks come across. I'm being very, very light on this tool, by the way. Now we don't want to grind in the middle at all. I want to grind just that wing. Not even hardly touching. Then we'll go back here and grind a little more there, trying to blend that edge in. And there you have it. You can see the front is considerably more rounded. Now, I don't have that low point right there. This wing is pretty much straight, and the second wing is pretty much straight. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I sharpen the small little hollowing tools. Same tools I use for hollowing ornaments. This is a bigger tool that I use for hollowing hollow vessels. You'll notice that it's got a little bit of an angle, about 45 degrees or 50 degrees, and both sides are ground in just a little bit. The way you do this is to grind the corners of your grindstone. I use a diamond grinder, and I round those corners off. What that allows me to do is use those corners when sharpening. What I do first is I establish the front angle, and I've done that by tilting my table, and then you'll tilt the tool. I'm going to exaggerate it here, but you'll tilt the tool sideways and run across this rounded corner, and as you pull it back, you flatten the tool out, you run across the front, and then you tilt the tool to the right and you grind that angle. Now of course we're doing it much less. This is a more exaggerated version, but I'm going to show you how I do this particular tool right now. Tilt it to the right very slightly, run around the corner, come back across the front being really light, tilt it to the left. And that's all there is to it. Now if you have a new tool that you're wanting to sharpen, I usually remove the tip and I grip it with vice grips. And the first thing I do is establish that angle by simply running back and forth. That gives me the angle. Now I want to grind these corners, and I tilt the tool slightly to the right and just pull it across that corner and round that edge. And I'm creating that relief on the sides at the same time. Then we'll go over here and we'll tilt the tool to the left, and now we'll grind that relief and also grind that corner. And we do that until I get the proper fingernail grind on the front. And there we have it. Now another tool that we sharpen a lot is these little teardrop scrapers or any other kind of scraper. Again, I use the tool rest and I just very gently ride it across those edges. It's totally supported, so it's perfectly safe. And I just grind that edge down till it's good and sharp. And that's all there is to it. This is a tool that I use for cutting rebates when I want to insert the chuck into an opening. You'll notice it's square across the front. It has a relief on both sides. So I sharpen it pretty much the same way, except that I don't ride across the corner. I establish that front angle, then I come over to the sides and I establish my relief angle. Cut my relief angle over here. Make sure that corner is again good and clean, and I'm done. This one lets me reach in and cut a dovetail opening.